Good evening. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're with Jonathan Gary of Just Conversations. We're going to be talking to Mr. Justin Grant very shortly. He's going to be telling us about his new music, things he has going on, um, and the impact and the things we want to gather from this conversation. We're going to talk with him and learn a little bit more. So bring him on aboard. Give us one moment. Justin, are you there?
I'm here.
How you doing, sir?
Good. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Good, good. Doing some research on you. You're doing a lot, man. I thought I was a jack of many hats, but checking you out, brother, you're doing some good stuff. Very good stuff. So, this is a podcast that's typically um, entrepreneurship, leadership, and trying to help the community engage in taking some information away from our conversations. So,
hmm
with that being said, I want to first reintroduce you and then go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about you. And then we'll kind of break it on down from there. So, again,
hmm
Mr. Grant, do you mind sharing with our audience?
Yes, happy to.
So,
So, uh, what would you like to focus on first?
who are you? Let's first go with that. When who are you? Well, I read your background. I read your website. Went through. Um, Man, you're definitely a strong entrepreneur. I actually saw your website. Definitely, you got a lot of opportunities for engagement. Just a little bit about you, so when people go to research you, they know who they're researching and what their hopes and gathering to um, follow
Yeah.
you,
Okay.
learn from,
Okay.
and see what jewels they can take from this conversation. Like I said, to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Well, as you said, my name is Justin S. Grant, and the reason I have the S in there is because there's a lot of Justin Grants out there. So
Yes,
trying to get ahead of that with the middle
gotcha.
initial, the S. But I'm from Santa Barbara, and I've lived in Los Angeles my whole adult life, and I've always been enthralled with technology since I was little. So I became an IT consultant, really, uh, even before I became an adult, and then it just grew and, formally became my career and business. So doing IT, I would just help out individuals and groups and corporations with their technology needs, computers, websites, emails, printers, security, things like that. And
Okay.
in parallel to running the business, the IT consultancy, I also fell in love with comparative religions and spirituality, and also music, especially singing. So I've pursued those in parallel, the hobbies of music and spiritual studies while I was doing the IT consulting professionally. So, yeah, I've uh, pursued those hobbies intensely and got degrees in audio engineering as well as degrees in transformational psychology, which is really spiritual psychology, meaning the study of the human psyche or soul, mind. And then in the past 5 years or so, I decided to put my hobbies to the test and turn them into professions as I wind up the IT consulting and move on to new chapters in my life. So, yeah, I wrote a couple books. The first one's called Business and Spirituality, blending my business experience with my spiritual studies. And
Okay,
then
let's talk about that one really quick because
sure.
I didn't see that one, and for someone like myself, I'm a big believer that for me, my spirituality comes, then my business savvy comes second. So,
hmm hmm
um, to hear a book being written like that, what prompts you to do so?
Well, like I said, I mean, I've been an entrepreneur with my own business, for my whole adult life, and then in parallel, I've been studying spirituality for my whole adult life. So I really wanted to blend them together, yin and yang, in ways that can help individuals, groups, and even our entire planet improve their busy material life with their eternal spiritual life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so individuals can benefit, and so can, groups like nonprofits and corporations, etc. Because really, human beings, we think of them as one entity, and that's fine. But also, we can split that into a physical being, an emotional being, a mental being, and an eternal spiritual being. In the language of science, spirit is just energy, as in the equation E equals mc squared. So we've got
Right.
these various components happening within us, and if we can strengthen one um, by being more in tune with the other, then they can create a virtuous cycle. So that's what business and spirituality is about. Using our lower material side, our business, to augment our higher spiritual side, and vice versa. Getting inspiration, purpose, and willpower from our spiritual side, and then imbuing that into our business and busy activities in order to strengthen and enrich those as well.
Nice. Nice. And I definitely can relate to that very, very strongly.
Mhm.
How has your spirituality, or what has prompted you to be an entrepreneur? Was that something more spiritual? Is that was something that you just kind of said it's time to take the bulls by the horn and kind of create some
Mhm.
financial freedom for yourself? What prompts
Uh,
your entrepreneurship?
yeah, that's a good question. So my parents were entrepreneurs, and they owned a garden center, a nursery. So it was no huge enterprise or anything, but they were self-employed nonetheless. So
Hmm.
I've just been around that my whole life. And then, as I said, I've loved technology for as long as I can remember, and I was, you know, helping people with their technology since I was 10. And then it just sort of turned into a business because, as you may know, pretty much everybody needs tech support, right? So
Correct.
it was just so obvious for me to do something I loved and something that pretty much everybody needed. So it kind of chose me, that path. So now, I mean, I will say that I, around college here and there, had some jobs, and yeah, I felt like things were moving much more slowly than they could if I were on my own. So that's why I've just kind of always done it solo.
Gotcha. Now, as you have strong backgrounds in IT, where are we heading? Where do you see the world with innovation in the next 10 to 15 years?
Oh wow, I'm not prepared to answer that. that's uh, that's a good one, but
I try to
yeah.
keep you off your, you know what I mean? Like I really try to make this original, you know what I mean? So people
Well,
can really, really get a sense of learning who you are, brother. And you know, so it's no cakewalk. These isn't, you know, these aren't easy softball questions, promise you.
well, I mean, I told you I retired from IT, so that's why I'm just off my game on
Okay,
that.
okay, okay,
I
okay.
mean, I could tell you, I could give you a guess, and that's it's nothing groundbreaking, but we've seen. I mean, it's incredible because revolutions of technology used to take thousands of years, and then they took hundreds of years, and then they took decades, and now they're taking years, really, for like just massive changes to be happening. So, um, and it's what's really fascinating is a lot of these technology terms have very spiritual sounding basis. Like, originally, back in the days of networking cables, they were called Ethernet. The ethers are associated with the subtle world and the spiritual realms, right? Ethernet. And then there was Firewire, which fire is always part of virtually every sacred ceremony as a holy element. Um, and more recently, things are moving to the cloud, and obviously, heaven is often portrayed as clouds. So anyway, to answer your main question, all I can say is that things are moving to the cloud now more than ever, and it's, you know, I won't dare say done, but it's rather mature already. And this is something that's barely been happening for 10 years. So, having all of our data in the cloud in our pocket all the time is just uh, life changing and society changing in so many ways. So, mostly I just see, things continuing to become more and more cloud based, and therefore, everything's accessible to you all the time if you want
Nice. Um, Cybersecurity with that. Are we getting better or are we stagnant?
it. Depends how seriously people take it, really. So, yeah, I mean, and also in the pandemic, there's just so many people sitting at home and able to try to hack others. So yeah, if people take it seriously and invest in cutting edge tools and competent personnel, then it can improve. And if people don't take it seriously, then uh, it's going to be disastrous for them. So actually, one thing that is fascinating is you may have heard of these quantum computers, which is going to be the next evolution of microchips, or at least a major evolution. Um, and what's fascinating is that these computers and chips make it so powerful that they can break all of our passwords. And that's actually like a real apocalyptic threat to the whole online world that we live in, because everything is based on security. So if these quantum computers come out, and they can hack into anything, then what are we going to do? I don't
Right,
know.
right, right. And I mean, I'm sitting here listening to you saying there's computers that can hack into any password, and I instantly got a panic attack almost, bro. So, okay,
Well,
okay.
right now it's just Google that owns them, and places like that. But yeah, if they become mainstream, then yeah, I don't know who's solved the limit. I mean, who's solved that yet? But it is kind of fascinating to think that so much of these that we've built we could undo. It's kind of like the nuclear weapon of microprocessors in a sense. So it could really create apocalypse.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, man. Don't want to kind of, man. I definitely let's change this subject now. Let's get into some nice music. Um, Tell me a little bit about the passion for music that you've developed.
Okay, great. Uh, so yeah, when I was younger, I used to sing in chorus and chambers or whatever it was called, but I wasn't very serious about it. And then when I became a young adult, my love of music that was in my blood, and inherited and must have been, um, just really started to develop and strengthen. So, as I said, I do lots of things, but mostly I'm a singer. That's really my bliss. So, yeah, because of my interest in many things, I love singing mainstream pop, rock, hip hop kind of genres, folk too. It's beautiful. But then also with my spirituality, I love singing sacred songs of all kinds, Christian, Eastern, and indigenous types of music. So I do both. And yeah, it's all over my website if anybody's interested to have a listen. There's some music videos for the more mainstream pop rock, hip hop stuff, and then there's some also like meditative videos for the more spiritual and invocational music as well, all on justinsgrant.com.
And that's definitely justinsgrant.com. And I was checking out Shades of Music. What made you
Night,
write that one? Of
Shades of
Night, I'm
Night.
sorry. Of Night.
Yeah, right.
What made you do that one?
Right. Well, I think everybody who reaches adulthood goes through plenty of romantic heartache. And what's interesting that I say about a lot of my songs is that as a songwriter, it's fine for people to write songs about specific experiences or an individual person. Um, and I do some of that. But for the most part, my songwriting is more like a collage of experiences I've had. So yeah, heartache and unrequited love are definitely themes that most people have, unless they married their high school sweetheart or something, which I did not. So
Okay.
yeah, Shades of Night is a collage of unrequited love experiences. You know, going out on the town and thinking you've met someone that's amazing and it's mutual, but it just fizzles and it's painful. So
And,
yeah,
and
Shades of Night's kind of a breakup slash unrequited love song.
and I think all of us can kind of relate to something like that, in our years of
Yeah,
dating and what we think is, our newfound love. So
it's
cool
hard.
being, man.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
hard.
hard. It is hard. It's
Yeah.
definitely hard. You want to share any one of those heartbreak stories? Not going too deep on it, but is there anything you want to share and give some fruit to some young person maybe growing up that might need to learn a little bit about love?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, this song is a collage of experiences, so it's not even just one. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So just it happens a lot unless you marry your high school sweetheart. So
Right. Right.
um, yeah. So I guess what I would share is to know that it's normal to happen a lot because, as we agreed, it's hard to find someone that is there's mutual interest and attraction as well as mutual availability, whether that's work thing or single versus in a relationship kind of status situation. um, and then just the chances of you meeting that person, face to face or online or whatever it is it's a small chance, so it's hard. And it's normal that you're having lots of struggles, unless you know you were one of the lucky ones who got hitched
Right.
really early. Um, so, and then the other thing I might say on the brighter side is I think the best way to meet someone, if you're looking for really friendships or romantic partners, is to go get involved in sort of group hobby or activity and meet people there. So, one obvious one that's like a party vibe is to go out organize dancing. And even if you don't like dancing, just go to the classes and meet people. And yeah, if you keep keep at it, within weeks, months, or whatever, I mean, you'll be making friends at least, and hopefully be finding romantic partners at best. So yeah, that's like practical advice that I have for people who might be struggling to start a new relationship, rather than vagaries like, oh, you just need to be yourself, or something that's
Right.
like
Right.
that's just not practical at all. Yeah, you should be yourself, but that's still not really useful advice. So get
Now,
involved in
Justin, how do
the
how do
hobby.
people be their self now with the age of social media and the
Yeah, right.
facade that you see people put? You know what I mean? Like
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah.
it's. I'm gonna tell my age. I'm a MySpace baby. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Before
Okay.
all,
Okay.
all of that stuff, and we didn't have all these avenues to meet people and do these things. And um, it seems like now this generation and where we're heading with social media, will you ever really get to know the person that now you know what I mean on the initial
Hmm. Hmm.
um, concept of meeting? Because now you can meet someone just because you like their TikTok video, DM them, and now you got a whole long distance relationship. You know what I mean? Without even going through eHarmony or something. So it going back to, I guess, our question is, have have we evolved in being able to find love? Just like I threw that question out about the IT, where do we see ourselves in 10 years or 15 years? Where do we
You got.
see ourselves and now meeting people in the next 15? Because we're going to be talking about Instagram like it's MySpace 15 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, who used Instagram? Who used TikTok? You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be that. So, what challenges would that create? So
Man, you got some real easy questions for me on this time.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wasn't prepared to solve the world's problems, but I'll
Yeah,
try.
we
I'll try.
yeah we gonna try, right? That's what this is about. That's what this is about. We gotta, especially now that I know you got some spirituality on you. Oh yeah, man, you got some gems. You got some things that people really need to know.
All right, I'll try. Well, yeah, I mean, I like the line from literature that because it's always true. It was the best of times and it was the worst of times. So that's always true. That's true right now. And same with social media. I think there's all sorts of amazing or miraculous benefits to individuals and societies. And then there's all sorts of disastrous and painful things that are happening to individuals and societies. Um, but yeah, I just, like anything else, we just have to be alert and discerning in our interactions online and on social media. And, you know, go through the jungle without getting killed, even though it's inevitable you're going to get a bit scratched up. So, um, I, yeah, my different people are having different issues with social media, but for me, it's a lot of like work. That's the
Okay.
problem for me. It's not like I'm worried too much about me being fake or other people being fake. It's just, as you know, I do a lot of things. So I have various online social media accounts, and it's just kind of exhausting. So to keep the show going on all these different
Right. Right.
things I'm working on. So
Right.
that's my challenge. But if other people, like I've heard the studies that teenage girls are on social media and they get bad body images from seeing all these not only beautiful women and bodies, but also like heavily photoshopped or similar.
Hmm.
And it just makes people feel bad. So yeah, be discerning and know that there's a lot of fakery and yeah, just work on yourself and don't worry too much about things that have been photoshopped to uh, superhuman levels that just aren't real.
And it's not even Photoshop, Justin. It's the filters.
Yeah, yeah, I know
You know,
exactly.
we
Yeah,
see you're telling your age. You're telling your age. You're saying Photoshop. They got so many filters now that it's crazy. You know, they can instantly have pretty white teeth in 15 seconds. You know, and not a blemish on their skin. So, man, I don't
change
know.
your change your eye color, with the
Eye
filters. So
color,
I
right?
hear
And now you got long hair, and then poof, you go meet her, and she has a mohawk. You know what I mean? And it's like you just posted this 15 seconds ago. So it's one of those things, man. So I'm very what's the word I'm looking for? I've done several podcasts, and I've never seen a website like yours, um, to where you have a lot of opportunities for yourself and others. How
Mhm.
did you develop something like this? Because I see you got your press stuff, you got your coaching, you even have your own store integrated.
Yeah.
Uh, why did this happen? Because I look at my website, I don't have none of this. You know what I mean? I'm kind of basic. I got maybe some books and some of this. Sir, you got everything. It's you're like the Walmart of, you know what I mean? I walk in here just to maybe grab a book, but I might pick up a song and a mass on the way out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, well, it's confusing. It's hard, but yeah, I've got these different passions and interests, and as as I told you, I've been doing IT, which is mostly a home office based situation, which has made my life really efficient as far as not having to get ready and go into a workplace and then come home each day. So I've got a bit more free time than others. And then, yeah, I've got these different passions. And the website is great because I've been listening to another podcaster who says that the website, you know, it's funny because for a while I was wondering if, being believing in websites and .coms was showing your age, as you say, but because everything is going social and cloud based somewhere else, right? But no, I don't
right.
think so. I think that this podcaster is saying that your website is the only place on the internet that is your property, right?
Yes.
Unlike everywhere else, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, books, that's all he calls it rental properties, So um, you got to be there if you probably, but still, the website is where you own it and you have 100% control over the person's experience and what gets posted there and shared there and etc. So yeah, I don't think websites are old fashioned. I certainly hope not because it's nice to just consolidate it all into one
Yeah.
one spot. And
Okay.
yeah, I've worked really hard on the website to have it all there so I can share with people and help them out with whatever they want at my online Walmart, as you say.
Yeah, and again, don't make I'm a country guy, so I love Walmart. So I know some people may listen and be like, "Why did you say Walmart? What about Target? I don't like Target. I'm a Walmart guy. You know what I mean." So I grew up in the South, and we're Walmart kind of guys. So, um,
Okay, okay.
um, as we prepare to wrap up, um, what question would you have wanted me to ask that I may not have asked?
Oh, okay. Good. Well, yeah, because this is entrepreneurial and you're into things that help people. Um, Regarding my book, I wrote a book called Business and Spirituality, and it talks about the blending of those and gives studies, a summary of my studies of comparative religion, and what really amounts to unitive spirituality, because I believe in truth regardless of the source. Um, and in this book, yeah, I blend these things all together, and then at the end, try to give a practical manual as to how to apply spirituality in our business, or in other words, our busy lives. So, um, yes, that's all there for people who are interested. But I know that people are also busy, and so I bridge this book, Business and Spirituality, into an abridged version called Spirituality for Busy People. So if people, yeah, just want the highlights and the essence and the practical tools and techniques that are toward the end of the books, then yeah, Spirituality for Busy People is available and accessible in its shorter form. And then, as you may have seen, I turned the abridgment into an online course. So there's music, voiceover, and video, to guide people through the Spirituality for Busy People book and program. And so, yeah, it continues to get more and more accessible and friendly to people who are interested but busy, and just really want to get the results without all the all the theory that is so fascinating to me, but may not be right for or what people are interested in right now. So yeah, I just wanted to share that on my website, justinsgrant.com. It's there's On the books tab, there's also an online course called Spirituality for Busy People. Yeah, so I worked hard on it, and I know it has really life changing and transformational material in there for anybody who's interested to get enrolled.
Nice, nice. Okay. Well, definitely a joy, definitely a pleasure. Um, I learned some great stuff in this conversation, and I'm sure our audience has also. And I just want to thank you for taking the time. I know we've been trying to catch up for quite some time now, and I'm glad we finally did. Is there anything
Yeah.
else you want to throw out there to before we close this out for now? And hopefully we'll bug each other again soon.
Yeah, well, I just want to thank you for having me and say that I'm glad that you challenged me. We solved a few of the world's major problems on
Yes,
this
we
talk,
did.
so
Yes, we
so
did.
that's good. Yeah, I
Good
appreciate
stuff. All
it.
right. Again,
Yeah,
it's JustinSGrant.com. You guys check him out. And again, thank you for stopping by, sir, and we'll speak soon.
you too. Thanks, Jay. Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.